Hey, can you guys hear me now? Can you see me and hear me? Can you please type something in the... Oops, sorry. Okay, it's been a long time since I have started the stream. Apologies for that. So again, good morning if you're attending from US, and good evening for people who are from India. Hope everybody is doing great. Thank you, Shailesh. And so the reason for this live today, all of a sudden I did not even announce it properly. Usually I do it at least 3 or 4 days before. But the reason why I wanted to do this is because of my recent announcement that I've made about the course that I have launched, and I would like to talk more about that course and get your feedback, as well as uh, talk about what are the FAQs or frequently asked questions that you guys had when you were pinging me and adding a lot of comments in the comment section. So I'll start with some of the FAQs that you all have regarding the course, and then I'll also share course details a bit more, and then we can. I'll also add you guys to the StreamYard directly so that you can ask and talk to me here. And if there are any other questions, then I can pick some questions from the chat as well. So that's the agenda for today. Hello, Abhinav. Anana, any doubts regarding your course? Yeah. So, Abhinav, I'll answer all those questions. So don't worry. We still have a lot of time. And so, the common FAQs that most of you guys have, right? Let me start with that. So, first things first, whether the course is suitable for a fresher who has no experience in IT, whether the course is suitable for a non-IT person who has very less experience, or I mean rather who doesn't know much about IT, and is it suitable for people who are more experienced? Yeah, I'm going to answer that question. So basically, this course is suitable for everybody who would like to learn, because the way I have created the structure of this course is that if you look at the first two sessions, first two modules of this course, I'm going to talk about Linux fundamentals and what exactly is DevOps, and there are theoretical parts around it. And then I'm going to go deep into the technical concepts, hands-on demos, projects, and all those things. Now, one request from people who are freshers or who are non-IT background is that have some patience, because the way I have done it is, I'm going to do it only on Saturday, and you're going to have next whole week to practice whatever I'm teaching on Saturday, right? So if you really want to learn DevOps and you're not worried about your previous background or anything like that, you are fine to join this course. And intentionally also I kept the course fee and everything very low, because usually you won't see that, you won't see the fee around this low whenever there are live classes, and especially the amount of course that we have created. I'm sure you're going to learn a lot, and then you're going to be well prepared before you go for interviews. All right, so with that, let me show you the course structure, and then we can talk more about the other questions if we have any. Okay, just give me 1 second. All right, just give me 1 second. Let me share my screen here. Okay, present. There we go. Then share screen. Share screen. I'm gonna select the course. Share. Okay, so can you all see the screen here? Can you please type yes if you can see the screen? Can you please type yes in the chat if you can see my screen, whatever I'm sharing? Great, thank you. So now, like I've said before, the first frequently asked question is whether if you're a fresher or a non-IT background, I'll do my best to cover all the basics that are required. Like for example, if you're starting from completely scratch, you have no clue about DevOps, but then you still want to learn DevOps, and because it's hot in the market, you want to get a job or get into an IT market. If you see the first two modules, right, or first two sessions here, this is more the theoretical concepts and then getting into the Linux. So first session will be on introduction to DevOps, why DevOps is important, because the reason why this session is important, because a lot of times when you go to a DevOps course having no clue about what exactly it is, or sometimes in interviews as well they'll ask you by the definition of DevOps, or what exactly do you mean DevOps, or why companies have to implement DevOps, or is implementing Jenkins is DevOps. So these are some of the misconceptions, or some of the things, some tricky questions that people will ask. So it's better to always get the basics right. And this section for people who know already DevOps might be a repetitive, but you'll also find some things that are important in this section from my perspective, meaning like some interview questions that I faced around this that might be useful for you whenever you're trying to learn DevOps and get a job. And for those who are freshers, this is a absolutely must session to attend, the session one. And then the session two is where I'm introducing you to Linux basics. Like I've said in my many videos of my channel, that without Linux administration or without the basics of Linux, it's extremely difficult for you to uh, get into a DevOps role. And you find that as prerequisites in many jobs. You find online that there is Linux basics, and you have to know exactly how you have implemented tools in Linux, and some of the networking concepts. So I'll go through all the basics and all the demos. So by the way, every session that I've put here, it is not just theory part. Most of the time I prefer to do things in the console and show you through hands-on. So that's why I haven't mentioned specifically about anything such as this session is hands-on or this session is not hands-on. I'm a lazy person, so I'll create very less slides and more hands-on work. So if you have any such fears that this is going to be only theory and this is not going to be hands-on, don't worry about all those things. And I'm sure that I will, whatever I have promised, I will over deliver more than whatever I have put it on this website. Okay, as far as continuous integration is concerned, um, you all know that CI process has lots of important functions that starts with CI. And before that also there is agile and all those concepts which I will cover in the previous session. And the CI part, you will have you will see a demo along with the sample Java project of how to implement a CI with Git. And how does the CI process work actually in big companies when compared to smaller companies? How does security play a crucial role in CI? And then what is the purpose of CI in this whole demo? So one, you will know the theory. I'll give you a sample project, and then I'll give you an assignment, hopefully, which you can complete by end of the next class. So by next class, you will get into the provisioning and automation. Now you might, there are some people who are asking questions. Why didn't we add CD part after CI? The reason for that is that in the CD part, there are a lot of infrastructure components that come, and to understand the infrastructure components, you have to know how to do automation and provisioning. And that's why I wanted to make sure that you know those IAC concepts and how to create the basic infrastructure, and different infrastructure algorithms, or rather load balancing algorithms, or all those concepts. And then I'll also take you through provisioning the infrastructure using Terraform. Now, when I put, let's say, Ansible or Terraform, I'll definitely, based on my experience, I'll tell you which tool is important, and I'll also relate to you the real-time things that happen around these two tools. I'll give you my experience, why you should learn this tool more than some other tools, or which one you should pick. If you were to pick only one tool between Ansible or Terraform, which one should you pick? I'll give you all those experiences, and I'll back with some of very good, industry common best practices around these tools, because I've been working in this field for a long time, and I know what it takes to provision the infrastructure at scale and manage the infrastructure at scale using one of these tools. Now, after provisioning and automation, we have cloud platforms. There's another question about, am I going to deep dive more into AWS or GCP? I put two because the reason why I wanted to cover both at a high level, and also at some crucial services that are most commonly used, is because once you have the flavor of two clouds, then you can easily learn Azure. But having said that, if you have any feedback around any of these services that doesn't complicate our needs, then we can have the discussion during the class, and then I can just focus on AWS, deep dive into the VPCs and all the networking stuff and security, IAM, and all. But there are some other audiences who came from my channel who would also feel like, I want to learn GCP as well. That's why I kept both. But let me know if you have any feedback around that. Now, again, there'll be a sample project here about the deploying the services in AWS and with end-to-end application scaling, Hey, sorry about that. I think there was some network glitch at my end. Okay, so can you provide the course from scratch with the real-time projects for everything? So everything that I'm going to show here is going to be with the projects and all the demos and everything. It's going to be completely hands-on. So don't think that this course will be just a theory part. Now, can you guys hear me okay? Can you please type yes in the chat? Can you? Okay, great. All right, so let me continue with whatever I was sharing in the course structure, and then I'll invite you guys to have a discussion with me. Yes, Kubernetes is also covered. Yeah, let me show that here. All right, so I was talking about the cloud platforms, and then we're going to double click on one of the cloud platform and go deeper into that. And then we'll also talk about the continuous deployments. Whatever we have learned so far till cloud platforms, I'm going to talk about the continuous deployment, taking a sample project again. It might be a microservices project or a Python project or Java project, whatever the most commonly companies use. And then I'll show you the continuous deployment. And then here we're going to talk about the Docker, the Kubernetes, and deploying a sample application or an application in Kubernetes and Kubernetes components. and all those good stuff. And then finally, in the final project, whatever you have learned so far in all the sessions, you will have end to end CI/CD at a larger scale, and then with security. So that's about the course at a nutshell. What's the cozy? Let me stop sharing. So now what I will do is I will share this link with you all so that you can join and talk to me and ask any questions if you have. All right, I'm going to make this as, can I make this as pin? Yeah, so that's the link. If anybody would like to come live and ask questions and help others, that would be great while I'm taking the questions from here. So the cost is on the website itself. Let me again share the link of the website here real quick. There we go. This is the link. Nikhil, I have put Ansible. I'm going to show you Ansible and demo of Ansible. I'm not going to say no to Ansible, but there is a I'll reveal most of this stuff in course between two tools. That's all. And I'm also a huge fan of Ansible, by the way. So there is no biasness over there. So I'm going to add Krishna to the stream. Whoever has cameras, I'm going to add them because that way it'll be fun interacting with you. Hey, Krishna. I think if you are speaking on mute,
Hey
can't
GK,
unmute. Hey, how are you?
good, good.
Yes, sir.
So,
Ask me a question.
you know, yeah, like we do get any reference after the class, like PPT.
So whatever I'm sharing as a PPT, right? That I think I can give. That should not be a problem. Or I can also give the project, the sample project as a Git repo. You can use that. Sure.
Okay.
Any other questions you have, Krishna? No. Okay. I think I lost him. We remove. Hey, Sumedh, welcome.
Hi GK,
Hey, how
am I
are you?
audible? Good.
Yes, you are.
Actually, I have one basic question. So, I have total 7 or 8 years of experience as a software developer, and I
Yeah.
just want to learn DevOps and CICD. So, it will
Mhm.
be helpful for me, or it will completely particular for the DevOps only, or should I move to the microservice architecture in that way? Means cloud development and DevOps is different or similar?
So you are a developer, right?
Yes,
Um,
software developer.
yeah. So now, one suggestion I would give is that, anyways, as a software developer, also you have to learn the CI/CD concepts at a
Right.
very high level. I'm not forcing you to join this course or anything. It's up to you. But maybe only some sections of the course are applicable to you, uh, because most of the other stuff might be more infrastructure level, and people who like
Okay.
to, like to do provisioning and other things. So in general, if you're asking for a feedback, then yes, microservices, that would be awesome if you learn that. And then
Okay.
also learn the core CI/CD concepts along with how you would build the code and deploy, or how you would dockerize the code, and then do a CD to a Kubernetes cluster as an example. So
Right.
those things will add more value to your resume.
Right.
and,
Got it. I
and then
got
you
my
can also
answer.
do the cloud developer certifications, or basically you have to show in your resume that you have experience in building microservices, and you have experience in building docker containers, and how to deploy them in cloud,
Right.
and work in the cloud environment.
All right. Thank you very much.
Hey, no problem. Okay, I'm gonna take. Yeah, so there is a limitation for the stream yard here to only allow people at a time, 10 people. So let me take some questions from chat for the same reason. What exactly do CI/CD? The question is, what exactly do CI/CD in this process? So I'm going to take next. Ansible versus Ansible Tower. So I'm going to go over Ansible, not Ansible Tower in this course. And then the question is, let's say we have a sample application written in Java with Docker file, and we have Kubernetes cluster, so we can spin pods using Docker images and run the app. What exactly do in this process? So that's what I'm going to demo in the course. Okay. So I'm going to add one more person here. Did I already add you, Sumedha? If not, let me add you. Hey, Sumedha.
Hey, hi, JK. How are you doing?
Good, good. How are you?
I'm great, JK. Thank you. So basically, I have already enrolled for a course. So that's great, actually. So I have a
Thank you.
couple of questions, actually. So I'm from Microsoft background, actually. I have 7 years of experience totally into .NET and other stuffs. So how feasible is it to move to, AWS or GCP rather than moving to Azure? How do you feel that is a good move?
So what is your preference? Would you like to go to, sorry about that, would you like to go to Azure, or you would prefer AWS or GCP?
Actually, seeing the market trends, as you know, AWS is the top as of now. Then comes GCP and Azure. So rather than that, I want your suggestion. So will it be preferable to move to Azure rather than AWS, or AWS also is fine, like having this much years of experience?
No, I think Azure is not bad. I'm looking at the recent trends, and I find that AWS is always, I mean, currently it is leading. If you were to ask me, should you learn Azure, then I think I would definitely suggest you to learn Azure. Does that answer your question? I think I lost you. I hope it does. If not, let me know in the comment section. Thank you, Sumedha. All right, so I'm gonna take one more person, but before that, I'm going to answer some questions here. Can data engineers learn DevOps? Yes, data engineers can learn DevOps, and most of the data engineering jobs these days, they do expect you to automate using the CI/CD pipelines and other stuff. So that's a yes answer. Okay, one more question. Thankful for your YouTube videos. I got placed in Click Labs as a DevOps engineer. That's awesome, Nageshwar. Congratulations. Will there be a Python automation in the course? So that's a good point. So currently in the course, I put only shell because of the time. But if you guys really need Python, then what I'll do is I will get a Python module there with some automation around how actually Python works in cloud or in DevOps world. How do DevOps engineers use Python with Lambda functions or cloud functions and all those things? We can discuss those. So I'm going to take the question. So let me add one more person from here. Okay, Sumedh, I'm kicking you out of the stream because we need people. People are waiting. Hey, Ravikant. Ravikant, if you are speaking on mute, I cannot hear you. Okay, I'll add you again once you have the video back. Shailesh,
Hi, GK.
hey, how are you?
Fine, thank you. Actually, I'm working in automation, but in the testing part. So I just wanted to know, I'm having some Azure experience, a little bit, not very high. So will it be helpful? And apart from that, most of the people us will be having the Windows system. So that is fine enough. And apart from that, next question is that in
Right.
previous video you have mentioned that it will be helpful if you have a hands-on on the Python.
Mhm.
So these three questions I am having, and I'm actually interested to take this course.
So as far as Python is concerned, one thing is that you don't have to have experience of writing Python applications and deploying to cloud. But more DevOps engineers, what they would do with Python is their day-to-day automation that they have to perform with Python. Like for example, if a task can be done using Terraform, you don't have to use Python. If a task can be done using Ansible, you don't have to use Python. But let's say you have to automate certain things using Lambda functions or Cloud functions, or you know, write a write a script to shut down some instances and automate certain things like adding tags and all those things. So that's where you have to have some basic understanding of Python. I know it's not that
Okay,
difficult to learn when compared to Java and other programming languages, but it's always good to have that experience.
okay. So till the function level, it is fine enough, right? If
Most of the time, yes. Most of the time.
and yeah, sorry. Another question is that if we are having Windows system at our home, so how can we make it work on the hands-on together as you will be making it?
So if you have the question is, if you have Windows system,
Yes,
how can you practice that? Is that the question?
yes, 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 yes.
Okay, so 1 second, let me. Uh, okay, now the thing is that previously, what people used to do is they used to install virtual box and then provision Linux and then boot the Linux environment in Windows. But my recommendation is that if you really want to learn, then why don't you just create an AWS account or a free GCP tier account or a Azure account for 1 year and then practice there
Okay,
directly. So that would be much, much, much better. So don't
okay.
in Windows, because that defeats the purpose of learning cloud.
Okay, so yeah, thank you. And as you have mentioned that you will be going ahead with the AWS, so we
Mhm.
can create a free account and we can go directly along with you, right? We can learn along with you, right?
Yes, absolutely. So now I would like
Okay.
to ask you a question. Is it better
Yes.
if I teach both AWS and GCP, or if I just teach one cloud and go more deeper into in that session?
Uh, yeah, it will be helpful if you go one more into the deeper and rest just overview at least side by side. You can just give it will be helpful.
And so your preference would be go into AWS more and then GCP as just an add-on, I believe, right?
Yes, 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 yes,
Okay.
and just add some Azure as well, wherever it's needed. Just as a bullet point, at least it will be helpful.
I will try, Shailesh, but honestly, to be completely honest with you, I don't know. I don't know. I don't have hands-on experience on Azure,
Okay,
so
okay.
I can talk about it and I can create some stuff in that. But I would like to be. I'm more comfortable in whatever I have done hands-on, because that way I can give you interview questions and the real-time scenarios.
Okay, okay. Yeah, thanks, GK, for your help.
No problem.
Thank you.
Thanks. Yeah. Bye. I'll take one question from Yamsani. Sorry, Abhinav. I'm working as a cloud engineer. Is it a good option to choose DevOps now? Already enrolled for your course. Thanks, Abhinav, for enrolling. I'm working as a cloud engineer. Is it good option to choose DevOps? If you're working as a cloud engineer, if you're already doing DevOps, then you are good with whatever you're trying to do. But if you're if you want to learn something new with the tools and see how actually the CI/CD or DevOps work at cloud level, maybe it's not a bad option to spend time and learn something new, or maybe you learn at least 20 to 30% new, which you might not know. Okay, I'm gonna take some more questions from just two questions from chat, and I'll add from the StreamYard here. Hi JK, does cloud fundamentals knowledge required for this course? No, Prasad, not required. Okay, now I'm gonna add Sayanta from Steam. Yeah.
Hi, ZK. So
Hello.
I have already enrolled your course, and I'm from Hyderabad right now. So actually, I have a 8.5 years of experience in the testing field, manual as
Mhm.
well as what automation with the Java Selenium.
Yeah.
So right now, I feel after 8 years also, I have to do this writing the test cases in the manual Excel sheet and some sort of automation. So really, I just wanted to change my field, and I just wanted to enter in DevOps
Yeah.
related, cloud related things. So my first question is like those people who's having like 8 or 9 plus years of experience, as well as they are in double digit salary. So after completion of your course, can we get 1.5x or 2x or uh, that level of hike we can expect, or the course which you are going to complete, that is advanced level, so that we can crack any interview?
So one thing I can guarantee is that at least after completing the course, you'll have confidence in attending the interviews and trying to crack the interviews. That much guarantee I can give. As far as salary is concerned, as you know, there are a lot of factors that are associated with pay, whether it is 1.5 or 2. There are market trends and other things that play. But definitely, it will be a huge jump from testing to cloud or DevOps.
Okay.
That I'm sure, because I was also in the same field right before. So
Mm-hmm.
the only difference is that when I came from that when I went to DevOps at that time, I was riding the wave, as there were not many people at that time.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the difference.
Okay, okay. And related to the Docker's Kubernetes, so I mean, if I go through your course only, this is fine, right? We can write the exam for certification and all, or we have to go with some other course and then after we need to do the certification and all.
Good question. So the thing is, if you want to go into the depth of Docker, or rather Kubernetes or Docker, right? So
Mm-hmm.
that itself will take another 15 to 20 hours of course,
Okay.
because there are a lot of smaller nuances that are required for you to pass the CK exam.
Mm-hmm.
So I cannot do that justice in this course alone, because Kubernetes is only for one session or 1.5 session, right? Which is
Correct.
like 4 hours to 5 hours, as I
Mm-hmm.
have to cover other tools.
Mm-hmm.
So it will give you the foundation. It will give you some hands-on experience. After the session of Kubernetes, you can definitely go to GKE cluster in Google Cloud, spin up the cluster, deploy the containers, and
Okay.
understand the pod level issues, or what happens at the image level if there is an issue with the image. So those things you can understand. But then now for the certification, there are other things that are required, right? So to
Okay.
that, I would suggest that you have to learn explicitly how to prepare for certification.
Okay. All right. Fine. And one more thing, just now you said to sellers, like we need to create the AWS account. So I
Yeah.
mean that will be part of your course, or separately you have to create the account and we have to be ready for that.
Okay. So now already have one account. So I cannot show a demo of creation of or provisioning or not signing up of account.
Okay.
I'll show you how it does. It's very simple process. I think
Okay.
maybe most of the people are stuck with the credit card and all this information. Other
Correct.
than that, it's very straightforward. So
Okay.
I suggest that everybody who is trying to attend the class have
Mhm.
at least AWS account ready, free credit, free tier, or whatever account you have.
Okay. All right. Fine. 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 So
And
do you have?
you have time till that time, because there are 2 sessions that happen, and then by that time you can get ready. You don't have to
Oh,
get it ready.
okay. So do you have any video of that how you are creating in
I
your
don't have.
channel?
Maybe I'll take some time to show that in the class itself. How about that?
That would be great. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
Thank
Samantha.
you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Bye bye.
Thanks. All right, I'm gonna take some questions from the chat here. Can you please add Python automation in the course? Yeah, sure. Shakti, I'm going to add that. Can you explain the benefits? Can you explain benefits of enrolling in your course, as I'm working as a DevOps build and release engineer? Benefits would be, one, learning DevOps, obviously, which you can learn from elsewhere, but one huge benefit would be that I'll impart my experience from last 2013-14 that I've been working, and show you the things that it will be tough to get it from outside, from people maybe who have less experience. Okay, so I'll add Ravikant. Hello, Ravikant.
Yeah, hi GK. Very good morning.
Good evening. Good morning.
Okay. So yeah, my question is, I'm actually a data engineer. Will DevOps help me with the data engineering stuff?
Yeah, so look, the data engineering is becoming more dynamic these days, right? Not only just cleaning up the data or do all that stuff. You also have to write the automation and build pipelines. Um, So it is better to learn the CICD concepts along with the data engineering. And as an add-on, my recommendation is that you should also, if not in this course, you should also learn the data engineering concepts of inside the cloud, like the data engineering services in GCP or Azure or AWS. So that would add more value to your resume.
Oh, okay.
Like data engineering services, especially in cloud.
Okay. Okay.
And do data engineering certification of
Yeah.
any one, three clouds is fine.
Yeah. We are actually moving to Azure. Azure is our preference
Yeah,
for now.
that is doing great. So you
Yeah.
are at the right time. I mean, at the right place.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Thank you, GK. Thanks. Nice speaking to you. And
Nice talking to you as well. Thank you. Bye. Dear sir, I'm in the 7th sem. I'm little confused. Which course should I go for? I'm not very good at coding, and I'm still looking for a job. Data analyst versus cloud engineer. This is more like a what would be your interest, Rajan, than my suggestion, because both courses have their own value in the market, and you can also get good pay from both courses or both streams or technical streams. In any ways, whatever you're learning, so you have to learn cloud. So I one suggestion is that even if data analyst that you would like to learn, so learn it in cloud along with the cloud services. So I'm going to add Santosh. Can you guys please come on video if you don't mind? Yes, Santosh. Oh no. Okay.
Hello.
Hey, Santosh, can you hear me?
Yeah, hello. Yeah. Hello.
Hey.
Able to hear me?
Yes.
Hey, GK. I was like, watching your videos, I think, from a long time. Okay. So I want to, I think, leverage your skills, I think, and learn a lot of stuff like, this thing, real time experience, I think, with you.
Mm-hmm.
So, so I feel I just went through your course outline. Looks everything is like, good. So,
Yeah.
I worked in AWS, I think, so for some times, and I want to, I think, load a little more deeper in the
Mm-hmm.
CI/CD kind of things and all that. So
Yeah.
I just went through your details. It's really promising. Okay, but yes, coding the one thing, just I'm really poor. Okay, so I always like kind of little bit away from the coding. So hope I think it won't be the hindrance. I think in your course.
No, it won't be.
Okay, cool,
I'll add
cool.
one or two modules on the basic, like
Oh,
Python or shell scripting that you might have to learn.
okay, cool.
But other than that, you should not be worried about the coding part a lot.
So okay, great. So GK,
And
one
I
thing,
also
you will go, I think, deeper in the AWS, right?
sorry.
So you will go deeper in the AWS, right? In the course.
Can you define deeper, like how deep would
Deeper
you?
means like you will see all three clouds. You won't be I think going
Yeah.
much inside, right? You will like explain all that, but little bit more inside. I think for the AWS you will be discussing during the course. I mean,
Yes, I would love to do that actually on AWS more
okay.
than GCP? I think that's what people are also asking. So I'll have to change the course structure a little bit to maybe just put everything that I'm going to talk, or sorry, rather cover as demo and sample projects and stuff in AWS, and then have high level stuff of GCP.
Okay, okay, that would be really great. So, how is the GCP market? I think now, I think as per your these thing
It is not
experience.
bad, but a lot of companies are going specifically for certain workloads in GCP.
Okay, okay, okay. So good
Um,
to have some kind of some kind of knowledge of the GCP that would add values. It seems right.
yeah, if you do a simple like LinkedIn search on jobs, also you'll find 10 jobs maybe in AWS, and 5 or 6 or 4 in Azure, or 7 in Azure, and then 3 or 4 in GCP, something around that. It is there
Oh,
currently.
okay, excellent. No,
Yeah.
excellent. I will be enrolling the course. Okay, I was just going through. I just missed it. I think I'll just do that. Okay, today.
Okay.
Thank you so much, GK. Okay, we'll see you in the
Thank you.
session then.
Yep.
Okay.
Thanks, Santosh. Okay, I'm going to take some more questions from here. If there are questions around what is the fee structure and everything, please find the course link, which I'm going to share right now, and then go there. This is the link. So Prithvi, there is some payment issues from people. Yeah, I've seen that, Prithvi. We are still working on it. There is gateway issue with Stripe, but if you have any other issues, please reach out to me or my email. I'll try to resolve that. Okay, what are the other questions we have here? Hello, GK. I'm from DBA background and wanted to explore DevOps. Can you please tell me how a DBA can move further on this role, which will be more on the data side? Any role which will be more on the data side. Now, the two options you have is, I've seen people who have moved from DBA Naveen to DevOps completely with the DBA experience. In fact, I had a lot of DBA experience in past. Um, you can either switch completely to DevOps, or the other option is I know some of my friends who have moved to the data engineering role from DBA. So the options are open. There's no such restriction, because the DBA one advantage you have is you have lots of system experience, and you can easily switch to either of these technologies. Can we expect one-on-one mentorship after this course, no matter if it's paid or not? Personal mentorship is one thing I would really looking for. Maybe not in this course, Aviru, because it will be tough to have one-on-one at that scale. Maybe you just leave me a message or email. We can talk in between. Okay, this question I have covered. We emailed. Okay, the other question is from Jinka. Companies are not recruiting freshers for DevOps, right? So we can show you our previous experiences as DevOps experience, and also can get. Yeah, so that's what a lot of people do. TJ, Prasad, and thank you, Prasad. Will this knowledge would be helpful for attending any cloud exam like AZ900? AZ900 for sure you can easily crack after this course, because it just covers the fundamentals of the cloud computing, Prasad. The next question, to handle payment load issues. Akil, Rocky, I think your website should add ELB stuff to handle payment load issues. Yeah, absolutely. That's the feedback that I will send it back to the team. There were some issues today with the load, and it went down. All right, so any other questions? Let me take one last question maybe. Can I switch from, by the way, if anybody would like to come on to the stream, I can invite you guys here. Copy and paste it here. All right, so we'll take one more question. Do I have to contribute? What jobs can we apply after this? I'm having 2 years of experience. So what kind of jobs you can apply would be one DevOps engineer, obviously, because that's the part of this course, and cloud engineer if you can add more skills after the course. So those two are the things that you can add. Just give me 1 second, guys. What I'll do is I'll add this stream link because I think a lot of you guys are not able to join because of that. I'll pin it in the section in message. Okay, so I've pinned the stream link, and I'll also pin the course link if you have any questions. But if anybody would like to join the stream, please join and then we can talk. That's the course. Okay. What courses from you are in pipeline, Nikhil? So currently this is the first course that I've told you, it's been long time that I've done a live course. So what are in the pipeline? Maybe I have one that I wanted to do from long time, is a course in Telugu language. Maybe I'll work on that. Telugu language meaning not teaching Telugu, but doing a course in Telugu. Okay. What is the next question? So is it going to be interview ready courses? I'm from QA. I can tell that I've worked simultaneously as DevOps to switch QA, automation and manual. Yeah, this course will be interview ready in the context of the DevOps, and after this course you can apply for interviews, or you can prepare your resume in between itself and then start applying that's another strategy a lot of people do. You don't have to wait for till the course is completed. You can just start applying, prepare the resume and start applying. So if anybody would like to talk, please come on cam. It'll be fun talking to you guys when you have your cam on. So I'm going to add Naveen Kumar. Naveen, you're on. Seen your camera suddenly and it went off.
Hey, hi GK. So actually, I'm just trying to turn it on back. 1 minute.
No problem.
Okay, so I'm the one who posted about from the DBA background, which you answered. Thank you so much for that.
No
So
problem.
I have a basic understanding of a little bit of DevOps tools which we use in my current role. So I just want to know, like, before starting attending your course, do you recommend us to like brush up anything like Linux? Because I'm from more of a Windows background. Like
Yeah.
I'm working as a SQL DBA, so have little bit exposure to Linux. So do you recommend us to like brush up Linux or something?
If you would ask me, ideally little bit, but I'll go through the commands anyways. So
Okay.
it depends. I think it is like the more you prepare, it's better for you. If not, it's okay.
Yeah, because why I am asking is I know like it is a like 9 or 10 sessions. We will have limited time also, so we should
Yeah.
also do some homework from our end, right? So that's why I'm just asking this. And how about the tools? I know like I saw the syllabus, so you would be covering all those, like for example, Ansible, Jenkins,
Yeah.
Terraform, and all, like. Okay.
So yeah, what I'm thinking is that I have put only limited tools, but I will cover more than what I've put. Like for example, I will talk about Ansible. We'll talk about Jenkins. I'll also talk about GitHub and how you do GitHub with CI. all that good stuff. And my experience working with these tools is that there are certain tools that are going to be more valuable after 1 year than the current tools. So I'll introduce them to you guys and then tell you, and maybe do more demos on those tools, like how to do GitHub CI, GitOps, and all that stuff. And as far as Linux is concerned, what I was thinking is that, look, if there are people, majority of the audience in the group not have Linux experience, and they're asking me, GK, can you please take one more session on Linux? Then I'm happy to take that. I don't want to restrict the course just because I put it for 30 hours or 32 hours. I don't want to do that. If it takes one more session, I'm okay to take that and explain a bit more.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good.
Thanks, Naveen. Have a good one.
Okay,
Thanks.
thank you.
Bye. All right, so I'm going to take one more question from chat. If anybody would like to come on stream, follow the link. Can you tell me the importance of using assume role functionality and the HashiCorp vault for the infra setup using Terraform? Which is better? Which one should use under what criteria? Okay, this is not related to the course. It's more like a technical question. So assume role is also a good thing instead of using keys in Terraform from security perspective, because that's what even Terraform recommends whenever you're trying to use with AWS or GCP. If you're using Vault, the thing is, again, you have to store the keys in the Vault, and that's another problem and another overhead, I believe. Or what some companies do is that instead of even having the IAM role to be passed as part of the variable, they would put that in the HashiCorp vault and then use that to get the OAuth temporary keys to provision the resources. So it's a combination of both. Using both assume role and as well as vault together is also not a bad option, because you're not exposing your role in AWS terms and your service account in GCP terms. I hope that answers the question. Okay, one session on Linux will be helpful, which I'm doing it, Vaibhav. And the next question is, how hard it is for a good G-Cloud developer to try for an architect certification? G-Cloud developer to an architect, any developer to an architect, you need to have a solid system admin design concepts, and then you should have lots of experience in designing application in cloud. That's what solutions architects do in the terms of the cost, well-architected frameworks. I think the more experience you have in the IT field and the more experience you have in creating the applications or architecting the applications, it will be more beneficial. The common question is, if I have 1 year of experience or 2 years of experience, can I become an architect? Yes, you can become architect, but it's very less likely that companies would hire you with that little experience. Okay. I'm gonna take. Hey, Sarah.
Hello, GK. I was working as a senior software engineer, but to an extent, I'm working in the DevOps tools.
Yeah.
And also with respect to cloud, I'm using like Azure. So my question is, will there be any monitoring tools regarding monitoring be added to the subject? And
Yeah.
So that is my main question. And how far will be assisted in, I mean, if I wanted to move as a complete DevOps engineer from current position, how far will I be assisted with the process of attending the interviews and so on?
Yeah. So one good question is on the monitoring part, right? I think I haven't added. I by the way, I have added recently the monitoring part as well. So I'll talk about the logging and monitoring and the continuous monitoring and other things.
Okay. Will that be with respect to monitoring in the cloud, or would that be in a separate tools like Splunk and so on?
Splunk I cannot do. Maybe I'll do the ELK part, and I'll also show you the monitoring in cloud, like CloudWatch alerts, and the
maybe they would have something
GCP.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I would love to do the enterprise monitoring. Like for instance, if you can take example of Datadog, but the thing is the license, they are all licensed products, and it is, you have to prepare for a trial version of that and then see how I can use that. So there are too many things that I have to think of, like which one would be beneficial to cover.
Yeah, what I think is like even if there's a single tool regarding monitoring, uh,
Mm-hmm.
if it is with respect to cloud,
Yeah,
I mean any of the cloud, that
yeah,
would be beneficial with respect to the DevOps role.
true.
Yeah.
So meaning monitoring. I mean, I'm just asking a question. Monitoring within the cloud using external tool, or doing monitoring and logging using the cloud tools itself or cloud services itself. Like for
Um,
example, do you
not
want to understand more about the CloudWatch and CloudWatch alerts that you can incorporate in your application within AWS, or do you want to use Prometheus and then do monitoring using Prometheus on AWS?
mean like I would like to know about both.
Hmm.
I mean, let's just overview like how agents could be. I mean, if it is
Yeah.
something outside of the cloud, like how
Yes.
agents could be
Right.
integrated with it. Like overall thing, if it is outside, it could be like
Yeah.
overall thing. If it is like inside the cloud monitoring tool, a deep explanation of one tool would be
Hmm.
more sufficient.
You're right.
Yeah.
So I think, yeah, absolutely. So most of the companies these days, they prefer outside tools, as you know, right?
That's
Because
what I see. Like I mean, most of
yeah,
the thing. Yeah.
like for example, Datadog, and that's why all these tools have become more famous because they
Yeah.
provide wide range of
Nowadays,
capabilities.
more famous. Yeah.
Dynatrace and other tools, right? Because they have APM capabilities. The thing is, now I have to figure out whether I should take a trial version of Datadog and then integrate the agents with, let's say, in the cloud, and then show the monitoring part, how to create the dashboards in the Datadog, or just use the same agents in the cloud agents basically,
Mm.
and then show the cloud. The concept wise, I think it will be same. Either
Yeah.
if you learn that or this, end of the day, it is client server communication. And then I think basically you need to learn how to configure this and then create the dashboards and
Mm.
understand the metrics, and then how to instrument the application with the monitoring. Maybe I think that would be beneficial, right? That would be the
That's what. Yeah. A overall glimpse of if I learn something about this, I should be able to perform in anything that is given for monitoring.
right. No, that's a good feedback, Sarah. Thank
Yeah.
you. Is there
Thank
any other
you.
question?
From my side, that's it. And regarding to the interview viewpoint, that's what I wanted to ask. Will there be any guidelines like about the interview questions or the panels,
Yeah.
how we can proceed with that, and so on will be guided or not?
Yeah, so that's I'm thinking it as a bonus
Mm,
round,
mm,
bonus session, where I will go over the interview questions and answers that are most commonly asked
mm.
for each section. And another thought I had was that after each session also, because each session has its own value, why don't I add interview questions there also? So that way
Yeah,
you'll have one week to prepare,
that's
and then you can prepare.
completely fine
Mhm.
because in the earlier one of the calls you said like you can even now itself prepare the resume for DevOps and apply for the jobs and you can search
Yeah.
it like that. So my suggestion would be like if
Hmm.
I'm getting prepared after each and every topic, once I learn the
Yes.
topic, that would be
True.
more useful for me to attend the interview process
Makes
rather
sense.
than doing everything at the end. When we do it at end of each process, it will be more easier.
Agreed. Okay, that makes sense. Then we'll do that. We'll do have interview questions after each
Okay,
session.
sure. Thank you,
Thank
Hritik.
you. Yeah, thanks. Bye.
Bye.
All right, so I'm gonna take some questions from. So I'm gonna take question from Vamshi, who has been supporting my channel for a long time. Hey Vamshi, hope you're doing great. Will you cover GCR GK as part of Kubernetes? Yeah, that's the plan, Vamshi. I'm thinking of covering GKE as part of the Kubernetes demo. Either we could have gone with EKS or GKE, but I think GKE would be the same concept. Okay, Varma is saying the payment is failing. Varma, can you please send me an email with the screenshot, because right now I think some transactions are coming through from US, but some are failing, and we have done is a thing where we have converted that into rupees, and we are showing that instead of dollars, because Stripe has its own issues at the back end, Stripe gateway. But please send me an email. I'll try to fix that. Okay, the next question is, how many sessions will you take on Jenkins and Ansible? Cover it detailed, or will it be just a brief? So on everything that I'm covering, that I'm going to cover in the course, are going to have complete hands-on with Jenkins and whichever tool I'm going to cover. So there will be both high-level theory and as well as how companies actually do that with Jenkins. Okay, I'm going to add one more person from Stream. Hey, Abhinav.
Hi, GK. Hi, GK. Good evening from India.
What happened?
So I'm from
Hey,
Hyderabad.
Abhinav. Can you
Yeah,
hear me?
yes, I can hear you, GK. So, like, as I said, I've also posted the chat.
Your
So,
voice is breaking. Abhinav, your voice is breaking. I'm gonna answer one more question from here. Hi GK, are you planning to record the course and provide that to the course? Yes, so the course will be recorded and it will have all the recordings. If you have missed one session by any chance, you should be able to attend that recording, and that recording is available for 1 year. I'm sorry, there is some network issue at my end and the signals are looking bad.
yeah,
Hey, sorry,
GK, can you hear me now?
Abhinav.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
sorry
can.
about that, GK. Sorry about that. So,
No.
can you hear me now? Yeah. So that's fine.
Yeah.
Like, as I mentioned, I'm already working as an AWS engineer, AWS cloud engineer. So, so like, coming, like, one of the requirements is like, coming up projects are more on containers. So our basic
Yes.
requirement is on containers. So I thought of taking Docker and all. By the way, I've already enrolled for your course, so it's fine. So
Okay.
I've been following for you a long time. Before COVID also, I'm following from Instagram and seeing your all the stuff, GK. So I'm a big fan of you, by the way. And
Thank
so
you.
my concern is like, if I learn this Docker and Kubernetes, like most of the requirement is on, they are saying that EKS and ECS. So
Yes,
they're mostly focused on native AWS native
that
tools,
is correct.
like they're
That
saying
is
that.
correct.
So
Yes.
like, what should I like focus? However, I will however enroll for this course, right? So I'll be in line with this course. So apart from
Mhm.
this, like, what are the areas do I need to focus? GK, like, I just wanted to, that's
Yeah,
all.
so EKS and ECR are definitely, most of the companies, unlike before, right? They are going to use the managed services only. Nobody
Yes,
wants to create Kubernetes unless there are some payment gateway based applications or PCA data that they want to use on premise. But other than
yes,
that, nobody would like to waste their time with managing the control plane. So what you are currently, you're learning from some course, right? Whatever that is, with respect to Kubernetes, make sure that you're practicing only on ECR, EKS, or GKE. That's my
yes.
suggestion. And then you can do CK exam.
Okay,
Abhinav.
Kubernetes certification. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be solid, because you have rightly said, a lot of openings are in Kubernetes.
Yes, DK, yes. And I've gone through all your curriculum, like course content. Everything was
Mhm.
awesome. Like, I've never seen, like, I've gone through many other documents and anything, but it's like completely like, if a fresher also coming to your course, then he can be confident and attend interviews. I'm not saying he can get like experienced person, but if it all depends on how you are practicing. Even if you're attending 3 hours, 4 hours, it all depends on your practice. So still I'm struggling with Docker container, that all commands and all those things, and that one. And GK, like, some of
One
our
question,
colleagues.
sorry, before you take
Yeah,
your
yeah.
time, sir, you don't have to rush. So one question is that, why is that? Why are you struggling? Because is it because of you don't have enough opportunity in the company to work on Docker, or is it because it is complex for you to practice Docker?
No, it's not complex, but just like recently we got an opportunity to work on the other project, so that's why they are pushing us to upgrade or upskill all the things like as I said, right? So that all depends on the Docker, right? So initial basic thing is Docker, then it's a stepping stone. That's what I was
Okay.
concerned.
Okay. Thanks. Sorry, you are having another question.
No, GK. That's what. So, as some of our colleague mentioned, recently we started using Datadog also for monitoring purpose. So,
Yes.
CloudWatch
Yeah.
is already enabled. So, we are already using it. But as part of
Yeah.
automation, we are trying to use Grafana dashboards for all those things. So, is anything like monitoring tools are covered? The same question I was like to. So,
No.
it will be helpful, GK. Like, I'm not asking like, for everything, but just like a glimpse or anything, so that we'll be.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll definitely add that session somewhere, or I'll sneak that into one of the sessions that we have.
Yeah.
I agree. I totally agree. It is
Yeah.
just that somehow I missed that part. I thought I'll just cover it in the cloud, and then I did not explicitly mention monitoring. But I think the more people, most of you guys have been asking me even during offline conversations that monitoring is important. So I'll make sure that the monitoring is covered. So one question I have for you is: do you think the Datadog would be better if I cover Datadog, or like Sarah was mentioning, cover at least one thing and then we'll understand the other thing, like meaning the
So
agent-based configurations?
yeah, so from my side, Datadog would be better, GK, at least for trial version, so that everyone will know. So CloudWatch is like easier, and everyone will be in documentation also. It is available, but in Datadog, so some agents and everything will be there. So it looks like it needs some hands-on. So it will be great if you could take this as our thing and include in Datadog.
I'll do my best. I think I have to get a trial version.
Yeah,
But if not,
definitely. I do understand. It's a paid service. Yeah, it's paid service.
yeah.
Enterprise. I don't understand.
And if you use
Yeah, thank
Datadog,
you
I
so
don't
much.
think you need Grafana, right? Because Grafana, everything is covered
No,
in
no, no,
Datadog itself.
no,
Yeah.
no, 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 no.
Exactly. Because it has
Yeah.
logging
Thank you,
capability
GK.
also.
Thank you so much,
Thanks.
GK. And I don't want to take your time. And thank you so much for your support, and thanks to taking me in the video. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Looking forward to see you in the course. Thank you.
Looking forward to seeing
Bye-bye.
you as well. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
So Shiva asked, I see FinOps have been cropping up nowadays, where cloud cost management has been a major driver in migration to cloud IC certifications from CNCF and FinOps org, or how to learn cloud cost management. Yeah, so I've thought about that, creating a video, Shiva, long back. I'll create one. And you rightly pointed out that FinOps is going to be a major topic down the lane because of how companies are adopting cloud and how mismanagement in cloud can also become a bigger factor in the cost. I'll do something about it in my videos, not maybe in the course. Okay, so we're already 1 hour 10 minutes into the live, and I'll take a few more questions. So the Nikhil has a funny comment. Why it's mentioned dog name for data? It is mentioned as data dog because dog sniffs around for bad actors, or they have the capability of sniffing. So Datadog also does the same thing. I guess maybe that's the, I don't know, maybe I have to search. Okay, what is your expectation from the participants? Like how many hours to spend and read any additional material? How can we reap much from this course? How can we reap benefits from this course? I think I put the course for about more than 30 hours. So one benefit would be, I mean, how to reap the benefits of the course would be after each session, try to practice for one whole week. Whenever you get time, take 2 hours, 1.5 hour, or it's not a rocket science. You just keep practicing, come up with questions about the last session in the next class maybe, or engage in the community of Telegram. That I think everybody who is buying the course is going to get a link to join the Telegram. If people did not get that link, let me know or send it to me or email. I'll make sure that you're all part of that group. and then build that community, talk to each other, and try to resolve the issues. And I'm always there to help you out if there are any other questions which cannot be resolved. Prakash, 30 hour itself is need for Kubernetes. How is it possible, sir? 30 hours, what you cover? Yes, 30 hours, like I've said, not going deeper into Kubernetes because there are other concepts that have to be covered. So that's why DevOps in general as a concept or as a course, we have to cover a lot of things. If I have to cover Kubernetes alone, then maybe I have to create another course for that. Okay. So I'll take one last question before we end this session today. Tools like K8 itself is a world. What can one expect attending your session? Will it be sufficient to master K8s? So to be honest with you, Shubham, after the course, what the expectation, I mean, the outcome of the course after you attend the Kubernetes session would be that for those who have no idea about Docker, or for those who have no clue about what exactly is Kubernetes, at least after the course, they can go create or rather deploy application, containerize it, and do hands-on stuff. From there on, now if you want to write a CKA, then that's another discussion, or that's another deep dive thing that you have to do. But that's the expectation after the course. Is it best to learn one thing at a time in DevOps? No, I think it's better if you learn certain things altogether, because DevOps is a vast concept, or things. There are a lot of things in that. Okay, so thank you all for joining this live. And if you have any other questions, please reach out to me. As always, you can comment here, or you can reach out to me or Instagram, LinkedIn, any other platforms. I'm open to take your questions and answer everything. Thank you all. Have a good night if you are from India, and have a good rest of your day if you are from US. And if you have any questions regarding the course, reach out to me again. And I hope that I'll see some of you in my course. For those who haven't joined the course, no worries, stay in touch, and then subscribe to my channel. Thank you all. Have a good rest of your day, or have a good night. Thanks. Bye.